Good evening. My name is Kate Mesmer. When I was 8 years old, I was dishonorably discharged from the Brownies. That was never my intention. In fact, my best friend, Carolyn, and I decided to join the Brownies because our older sisters had flown up and become Girl Scouts. And they did everything. They went camping, they made s'mores, they had the badges, they had the salute. They did everything, and it was just such a wonderful opportunity. And we finally got to join the Brownies. The very first meeting that we went to was held at the parochial school that I attended, St. Scholastica Elementary School in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And we were all lined up outside of the school. There were 16, 18-year-old girls in their beanies and our little skirts. And we were kind of all jostling each other a bit. And my best friend was kind of engaged in this conversation with another girl that I didn't know. And before I knew it, this girl had taken her hands and shoved my best friend down a set of concrete stairs. Now, this wasn't like a few stairs. This was actually a 14-foot stairwell that we at the Catholic school really weren't crazy about, because at the bottom of this concrete stairs was something that we called the hawker pit, because all the boys at my school, whenever the nuns weren't looking, would run over to the steps and lean over the iron railing and spit, and then watch the spit fall about 14 feet down into this pit. And so I'm standing there watching my friend tumble backwards, head over heels, down this long set of stairs. And it was horrifying. I mean, mostly because I thought she was gonna die, and I also thought, she's gonna land in the spit, you know? So I go down, run down, pick her up. We go into the school, and again, we know where everything is because it's our school, right? This is our turf. So we go in the school, back in the bathroom, and I clean her up as best I can. You know, remember the toilet paper that looks like little bakery sheets, right? So I'm throwing them all over her legs and all over her arms, and she was just bleeding. It was really horrible. And so we walk out back to the cafeteria where the meeting is taking place, and all the girls are sitting at a long table. And we walk in, you know, my friend Carolyn's there. She looks like a mummy from the waist down. And we go up to the leader and we say, "Your daughter pushed my best friend down the stairs." And she says, "My daughter would never do that." And we went, "We're Catholic kids. We don't lie. I mean, Monsignor Hayes is right over there. We're not gonna lie. We were just astounded." So we go and we're kind of summarily ushered over to this table where all these girls are sitting, where they're making styrofoam pin cushions. It's this little brownie sweatshop. Cut the styrofoam ball in half, slap some felt over it, red and gold braid on top, and then a mason jar lid, and you got a pin cushion. And we're like, our sisters went camping. You know, so we're looking at each other. She's bleeding, we're angry, it's incredible. All of a sudden, the leader leaves and goes off. And the next thing you know, we're just standing, and Carolyn looks at me and I look at her. The leader's daughter heads off and follows her mother. And at that moment, I grab a jar of rubber cement and I pour it all over the chair that she'd been sitting on. And it puddled really nicely. She came back, sat down. A few minutes later, stood up and screamed, and the chair was connected to her backside. She ran all around, and we were like, for a second. And then the mother came running in and she said, "Who did this?" And of course we confessed immediately. We were Catholic. It was our grade school, and we were told to leave. That was the end of my Brownie career. 20 years later, I'm at a party in Nashville, Tennessee, and the gentleman introduces me to his wife, and he says, This is Kathy Cloninger, my wife. She's the president of the Girl Scouts USA, the head Girl Scout. And I said, hi. And she said, were you ever a Girl Scout? And I said, no. And then I thought, don't tell the story. And I said, oh, okay. So I told the story much more quickly than I am now. And she nods her head, and she excuses herself for a minute, and she comes back like 2 minutes later, and she's got something in her hand. And she reaches out and hands me a golden trefoil pin, a Girl Scout pin. And she says, consider yourself honorably reinstated. Thank you.